In a sample of 100, it was found that 68% of the car crashes occurred within 2 miles of the motorist's home. We wish to test the claim that the population proportion is at least 65%. Express the claim and the hypotheses in symbolic form for this claim, then answer the questions below. So we have several parts here. A, state the claim in symbols. B, the null hypothesis. C, the alternative. D, the tails of the test. E, the conclusion. All right, now it's a claim about a population proportion. And it says, we wish to test the claim that the population proportion is at least 65%. So that would be greater than, or equal to 0.65. And make sure to put the 0 in there, because if you don't, it may not recognize your answer. Let's see what happens if I enter that. Well, trying to submit it here. Okay, and now look, the answer is 0.65. Okay, so that way it accepts it. All right, now the alternative, or excuse me, the null hypothesis will be equal to 0.65. And the alternative hypothesis will be the complement of the claim in this example, because there's the condition of equality in the claim. Therefore, it is covered by the null hypothesis, and that means our alternative has to be the complement of the original claim. So this will be a left-tailed test. Remember, we always look at the symbol of the alternative hypothesis to know which direction the tails are. And if there is sufficient evidence to reject the null hypothesis, then your conclusion would be that the sample data blank, fill in the blank here, so we can choose either warrant rejection of the claim or support the claim. The way you tell the difference is if your claim is covered by the null hypothesis and you reject the null hypothesis, then you would be, in fact, rejecting the claim. However, if your claim does not have the condition of equality, it will become your alternative. And then, if you reject the null hypothesis, you would be supporting the claim. So which case do we have here? Here we have that the claim fell into the null hypothesis, that equality part of the claim statement is covered by the null. Therefore, if we reject the null hypothesis, we will also be rejecting the claim. Here is a similar example. It says in a sample of 100, it was found that 90% of the workers got their job through internet resume sites. We wish to test the claim that the population proportion is not 87%. So the claim in symbols would come right from this claim statement here. And we'll state it as the population proportion symbol P, which is already provided, is not, so that would be simply the not equal symbol. And notice that we have the codes laid out here for how the software will read a not equal symbol. We'll put in the exclamation point and then an equal sign. And then we need the value, which is in the claim statement, which is 0.87. Then your null will always use the equal sign. Your alternative, if there's no equality in the claim, it becomes your alternative hypothesis. So that makes this a two-tailed test since there's no direction to the symbol in the alternative hypothesis. And if we reject the null hypothesis, what does that mean regarding our claim? Will we be rejecting the claim or supporting the claim? In this case, the claim is contained in the alternative hypothesis. Therefore, if we do reject the null hypothesis, it will be support for the claim. And we have another similar example where we see that it was found that 49% of internet users pay bills online. We wish to test the claim that the population proportion is more than 52%. So P is more than 0.52. The equal sign, as always, for the null hypothesis. And since there is no equality in the claim, it's a strict inequality, strictly greater than sign, then that will become our alternative hypothesis, making this a right-tailed test. And if we reject the null hypothesis, it will be support for the claim.